Good day, everybody. My name is Michael Schmeeckle, and thank you for coming on the show of Everyone's Got a Story. What's yours? Today we have Dayton.
Poursharafeddin.
Thank you. I'll just take your word for it. That is a very unique name.
It's a mouthful.
Yes, I thought my name is Schmeeckle was bad enough. Wow. Well, today with Everybody's Got a Story, What's Yours? Give you an idea about what the story is about. The program, that is we've all gone through life. Life happens. So as we've gone through life, what we've gone through now is mundane to us. But to someone else who hears your story, like Dayton here in a few moments, you'll be able to maybe get inspired and or give you hope. So today, Dayton, can you tell us about your story and what your experience is and why it's so important to you, please?
Sure. I think the most important part of my story is how I found my faith. It's been really big in my steps for each day. And I was raised in a house with two different religious beliefs, Islam and Christianity.
Okay.
My parents were pretty cool about letting me choose and finding my way, and I chose early that I wasn't down with any of them. I kind of ran away from church at an early age and ran away from religion and God in general. I felt like I was misled and that I was given just information that wasn't right. And so, I turned into a kid and a teenager, and I partied and I had fun and I did my thing.
Yeah.
At one point I took a look at myself and where I was in my early 20s, and I didn't like what I saw. So I decided to leave the job, give away all my possessions, except for a few things that'd fit in my car, and hit the road. I didn't have a plan. I didn't say goodbyes. I just knew I needed to escape who I'd created and kind of wanted to find who I truly was.
Understood.
Yeah, I was on my way. I thought I was going to go all the way to the West Coast, but I got stuck in Colorado. And I found Poudre Canyon and some wonderful mountains and some wonderful people there that really helped me slow down and look at things differently. I chose to kind of go head on the traits of myself that I didn't like. So I did a bout of isolation in the mountains where I didn't have any human contact for about 30 days. Really hard.
True.
Yeah. But it helped.
Yes.
And I can sit alone for a little bit and not feel the need to be around people all the time. But I like people a lot. I'm an extrovert by nature, and I get fueled by you guys, so it was hard for me to do. I did a lot of other things like that, really looking at the materialism and trying to find appreciation for things that had just always been there, And went through a lot of stuff, and like I never really looked at it as a spiritual journey. It was just I wanted to like myself.
Yes.
And then stuff started happening.
How so?
Well, like I got tuned into the breath of the earth, the pulse of the earth. And I felt it breathing, and I felt myself breathing with it, and I felt this connection.
Very cool.
The earth really grabbed me hard, and it kind of touched me in a way that I couldn't quite just put off.
Yes.
And then basically all the elements started coming at me, and I realized that there was something more than just we're alive and then we die. And it really brought my faith back in that we're a collective one, we're all connected. I'm a part of this as much as everything else is a part of me.
Yes.
And it was nice. And then I got to I got to start seeing like aura. I started seeing light and colors and seeing people radiate and plants radiate. And I exercised these things.
Yes.
I'd get these big aha moments, and I'd quit shrugging them off, and I started paying attention to them, and I started wanting to see them. And so I'd exercise, and I still have a lot of work to go, but there's growth, and the growth has been awesome and beautiful.
Very cool. Just like anything, you got to practice to be able to hone those skills, to be able to do what we need to do in life, and that's very cool indeed.
Yeah. And after all that stuff happened, I still didn't know what I'm supposed to do with anything, and just coming to realization that, there's more to this, and a belief that, okay, God's real, I dig it. And then one of the last things I did for myself that was like huge, and I never really had what our culture would consider a problem with it, but I quit drinking.
Okay.
So I put away alcohol entirely, and
good.
it just kind of happened. I was never a heavy drinker, but I drink heavily occasionally for fun. But
Most times it's escapism. Is that when you drugs or alcohol or whatever, it's escaping from whatever is going on in that situation in life, instead of like what you're doing, you're actually helping. Instead of escaping, you're actually taking it on and moving forward in that. That's very good of you.
yeah, and it was a big moment. After that, like through my meditations and stuff, Jesus started showing up. I was a little irritated about it at first.
How so?
Well, because I associated him so much with the religion, with the organizations, and I had such a bad taste for them.
Yeah.
I felt so much, we all have seen it, and there's good and bad out there, and I'm not picking on any group or pointing any fingers, but I just associated the name Jesus with Christianity.
Yeah.
And the church and organized religion. And so when he started coming, I was kind of irritated, kind of excited at the same time, because he's a very exciting guy.
Yes.
But after that, I started getting downloads of memories, and I remember what he taught me. And I remember what he is still teaching us.
Correct.
And what he's still teaching me.
Yes.
And now I use what the Christian world calls Christ light.
Nice.
And I offer healing to people and do sound, and I perceive everything is light. Everything is light. God is light. And,
yes.
We have authority over it, and we can do stuff with it. And
Yes.
it's been beautiful and fun journey since. So yeah, I'm just getting to the point where I'm comfortable like telling people. I've been doing this a while, and I kept Jesus to myself, kind of, but I've found that more and more people, even outside the Christian world, are working with Jesus. He's who I work with. He's who I call upon. He's who I owe what I do to.
Yes.
And so it was really reassuring to be amongst Hindus and Buddhists who are into this stuff that I'm into, the healing, the sound, and perceive color the same way I do.
Yes.
And to have them be like, oh, you work with Jesus, that's dope. And I'm like, yeah. And then it's also nice to be able to walk into the Christian world and have them be open to somebody who's not Christian.
Yes.
And the goal is to basically bridge those gaps and get us all focused together, because that's where the strength is.
Yes.
And it's like those candles. Yeah, you light a candle in a room, and it's not bright enough for the whole room. So you grab a second candle, and you're like, let's put it on this side and this side. And it's pretty bright, lights up the room. But when you bring the two candles together, the room's even brighter.
Very true.
And that's my goal. That's what I'm working at, is getting people to open up and, you know, getting the Hindus to understand that we don't have to pray to spirit, getting the natives to understand that we don't have to stick with old traditions, getting the Christians to understand that we can pray to spirit. Yes. And with being able to see color the way I do, my gauge of a good prayer is good. If it's green, I will support it because it's coming from the heart.
Yes.
And we all can reach the same place through different means. And we all want the same thing. Everybody wants the same thing. We want love.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be so hard. It can be pretty easy.
That is true. That is very true.
Yeah.
So as you've given us words of wisdom, and then have explained to us what has been an inspiration to you, is there any other things of nuggets of knowledge and wisdom you'd like to share?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a lot of people see where I am and wonder how I got there, you know. Because I wasn't one that studied Hinduism. I wasn't one that studied meditation. I wasn't one that spent years doing these things and trying. I approached life really simply. And I think it is all very simple. There's a clear black and white. There's a clear good and bad. And we make this gray. We bring in the gray. And we are originally light. I've never met a baby born that wasn't pure and good and beautiful. Yes. And I've seen a lot of babies.
Yes.
Never seen one that was dark.
Yes.
So we bring in that darkness, and we can let it go as well. You know, people ask, well, what's the key to opening your heart? How do you open your heart? How do you get it to that point? How do you love the way you love? And it's simple. I mean, forgiveness.
Yes.
It's a simple, tangible, three-dimensional human trait. Find forgiveness. And how I went about finding forgiveness was I approached all those things that irritated me so much, the little things.
Yes.
And I was like, how could I do that? If we're all one, so that's a part of me. So how could I behave that way to me? And I related as best I could. And I found these, I've done that. Yes. I've been there. I've done crappy things to people. I've hurt myself. I've hurt others. I'm not a bad person. This isn't a bad person. They're just in a bad place. I can find forgiveness for that.
Yes.
And then it gets to the issues where, like, something that, like, I still, you know, the bad stuff, the worst parts of us. You know, how do you find forgiveness for that? And I just wanted to, and it was selfish. Most everything I do is selfish. Like, I pray because it makes me feel good. You know, I help people because it makes me feel good.
Yes.
You know, all these things are selfish. So self-love, and you think about, like, how does it feel when you're angry? How does it feel to want to hurt somebody? It feels bad.
Yes.
I didn't want to feel bad anymore. So I tried and tried and tried to find forgiveness for the worst of us. And I found the best way to get there was to just pray for them. You know, don't wish them harm. Wish them to get healthy. And it opened up my heart. You know, one day there was this moment, you know, probably about after 10 years of trying to find forgiveness,
yes.
trying and trying. One day I looked inside and I saw this flower bloom, and I saw this gray callus flake off it, and it was right here. And it just fully opened, and it sent this wave of feelings through my body, and it felt so good. And I opened my eyes and I looked at the world, and it was different.
Yes.
And the anger was gone. I used to be a violent dude. I used to like to fight. I proved to you that I a little man syndrome. I had it. And all those feelings were gone, and I looked at everything, and I just loved so differently. And, you know, there's no easy to anything, but there's no hard to anything. Mm-hmm. It's simple, and it just takes work and desire.
Yes, yes it does. Life is about, it's more than just a chapter, more than just a story. Life is, let me go this way. My Stacy, one of her favorite sayings used to be, and I like to embody it as much as I can, life is the greatest adventure, go live it. Mm-hmm. So Stacy Hauser, she had just an amazing insight of life. I still, even though she's an angel with me now, that I still try to catch up to her, so to speak.
Yeah.
And she just was full of love and light, and it being curious about life. She was well known for her patent pending ninja hugs. Sneak up on you and give you a hug and scurry you off. It was so much fun.
That sounds like fun. I think I could get down with some ninja hugging.
Yes, yes. So yes, as you have expressed maybe about your story of unlocking your true potential by forgiving, letting go of the energies that's holding you back, blocking you, draining you, and limiting you, and embracing that love energy. And as you move forward in your life, in the world that we're in, as you travel, not just to Omaha, not just this nation of USA, but around the world, having your message and your messages of your story being known and heard. Is there any type of anything I should have asked that I haven't yet so far?
Well, I guess the stuff I'm involved with, I'm getting involved with the nonprofit, and I'm really stoked about it, and it'll be based here in Omaha. It's called, forgive my pronunciation, it's native, and I do not speak their language.
Okay.
It's Schmeeckle Inc., and I'm really excited about that. We're going to be setting up a commercial kitchen. Nice. I will be selling rocks. I don't sell. I'm going to be trading rocks. Okay. So there will be like
crystals and so forth.
Yeah, rocks, crystals, gems, and we'll have healing rooms, and we'll do speaking and gathering, and just a place where the doors are open where people can come in and get well, hopefully.
Sounds awesome stuff.
And then I do offer like what I do for people as much as I can. I like to keep myself pretty open. I just give out a personal phone number. Okay. And I reply to texts, I reply to calls, I come to people's homes if they need it.
So what phone number would you like to use?
The 970, no, not that one. 402-670-5912.
So 402.
670
5912. 5912.
Yeah, and you know, what I do, I don't charge for. I think it's important to put value on things, but I won't place what the value is for you, and I'm happy to do it for...
Kind of like a donation aspect?
I don't even look at it like that. Okay. Like I really don't expect anything. For me, I value time. Okay. And for me, I'm very tuned into that everyone is me. Yeah, okay. So I'm doing this for myself. Yes. And by having somebody give me their time and the willingness to get better, that's enough reward for me. If people need to place value on it, they can. If they want to buy me a meal, I eat every day. So, you know. I
understand that feeling.
Yeah, but there's no charge. I don't like price tags, and I haven't put a price tag on anything. I've been doing this, setting up at events and stuff like that. I set out my crystals, I offer healing, and the people take care of me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so those that can't, don't, and that's good. Yes. And those that can, do. Yes. And it works out. We can all take care of each other.
It's an equal exchange of energy is the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Because I understand that extremely well.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do.
Yeah. So we'll get ready to wrap up here in a few moments here, and well, is there anything else you want to add? Any words of wisdom, any knowledge, or anything I haven't asked yet that you think that would be a great for our audience out here?
Yeah, trust yourself. All the answers you need are within. You know what's right and you know what's wrong. Listen to your intuitions. God will speak to you. God is with you. And everything you need to know, you already do.
Well, sounds good. Well, thank you very much for your time, Dayton. And thank you for everybody there out there in the beautiful world we live in, wherever you're at. And my name is Michael Schmeeckle for Everyone's Got a Story. What's yours?